morning, everyone. For our members of the police officers. Yes.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Gallery.
Good to see you.
Welcome to the recess meeting of Will County Board for March 20th, 2014. We'll call that meeting to order. If everyone would please stand. This morning, County Board member Judy O'Gall will lead us in the pledge and then introduce our clergy for this morning. But first off, I would like to ask for a moment of silent prayer. Unfortunately, one of our employees that's been with us for a couple of years that worked in ICT, Mike Shays, was involved in an accident on election night, Tuesday night, and was in a motorcycle accident and on his way to work, Plainfield for the election, and was involved in the accident and passed away. So we would like to ask a moment of silent prayer. Thank you very much. He was Richard Smith, who worked, like I said, with Mike, and the arrangements, I think, have been passed out, or I think they're in the office, but there will be services on Saturday afternoon, and I think that at Fred C. Dane's funeral home. So our deepest sympathy to his wife and his family. He was a very good employee. Definitely knew computers, so a big help here. So, Ms. O'Gall.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This morning, it's my pleasure to introduce Associate Pastor Joel Sedecase from Grace Point Church in Plainfield, Illinois, who will be doing our invocation this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for the privilege of being here, and please pray with me. Father in God, please give your grace to us this morning, to this board, and bless us. Please look at this meeting with your favor so that the board members can see clearly the decisions that you want them to make, and that your holy will be done here in Will County, in the same way that you've made your saving power known all throughout the world, Lord. Father, we praise you because here in the U.S., you've allowed us to have the gift of self-governance, but to govern ourselves wisely, we need to experience your kind, gracious, and wise governance over us. Please give this board the ability to make the decisions that will be best for the people of the county and that most give glory to you. Lord, we acknowledge that you're the only governor who always governs totally impartially, without favoritism, with perfect justice and kindness. Your word tells us that you've given all authority in heaven and on earth to your Son, Jesus Christ. And that's the best news, because Jesus really is the best example in the world of selflessness and goodness. As these important decisions are made here today, as concerns are voiced, we ask that everyone participating would keep Christ's example in their mind. Give them wisdom to imitate him, with the understanding that all of us one day will give an account to him. Lord, I pray that everyone in this hall would know in this lifetime the freedom and joy and peace that come from trusting Jesus as Lord and Savior. You've blessed us so much here in this county, in Will County. We understand that to whom much is given, much is required. Please oversee this board meeting and carry out your will. Be gracious to us. Give our representatives wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And may the words of our mouths and the meditations of all of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our rock and our redeemer. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Sure. Zegrosi?
Here.
Eustace?
Here.
Howard?
Here.
O'Gala?
Here.
Izzo?
Here.
Moran? Rice? Here. Harris?
Here.
Trainier? Bible? Goodson?
Here.
Martin? Here. Gould?
Here.
Balich?
Here.
Grissalone?
Here.
Winfrey?
Here.
Adamick?
Here.
Babbage?
Here.
Wilhelmie?
Here.
Hart?
Here.
Mayor?
Here.
McDermott?
Here.
Weigel?
Here.
Collins? Barry?
Here.
And Brooks.
Here.
Thank you.
25 present, 1 absent.
25 present, we have a quorum. Entertain a motion to place on file the certificate of publication. Moved by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Mr. Babbage. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Sure. Zegrosi?
Yes.
Eustace?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
O'Gala?
Yes.
Izzo?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Bible?
Yes.
Goodson?
Yes.
Freitag?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Grissalone?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Adamick?
Yes.
Babbage? Wilhelmie?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
McDermott?
Yes.
Weigel? Collins? Barry?
Yes.
And Brooks.
Yes.
Thank you.
25 affirmative,
25 affirmative, the motion is carried. Entertain a motion for approval of minutes of County Board, February 20, 2014. Moved by Mr. Berry, second by Mr. Bible. Any questions? Previous roll call by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Ms. Rice. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary motion is carried. Next, Madam Clerk, would you please acknowledge our elected officials and media that are here this morning? Thank you.
Auditor Duffy Blackburn, Circuit Clerk Pam McGuire, County Clerk Nancy Schultz Booth, our County Executive Larry Walsh, Recorder Police Karen Stuple, and our Sheriff Bob Coates. And then we have a guest in the audience. We have our Pat Runner. Welcome.
Morning, Mayor.
Media, we have Chicago Tribune, Alice Fabry, Farmers Weekly Review, and Bugle, Nick Ryder, Southtown Star, Susan Lafferty, and WJO Monica.
Thank you very much. Citizens to be heard. We have no citizens to be heard this morning. No honorary resolution proclamations this morning. On our agenda, there's an item this morning that public comment, that is there anyone here that has wishes to address the board in some manner in public comment? Anyone here wishing to address the board? Thank you. All resolutions from the February 20th, 2014 County Board agenda have been signed by the County Executive. Our first committee this morning, Land Use and Development Committee, Mr. Weigel, Chairman.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First item is a public hearing for land use cases. I make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second. Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Mayor. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Sure. Zegrosi?
Yes.
Eustace?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
O'Gala?
Yes.
Izzo?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Bible?
Yes.
Goodson?
Yes.
Freitag?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Grissalone?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Adamick?
Yes.
Babbage?
Yes.
Wilhelmie?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
McDermott?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
And Brooks.
Yes.
Thank you.
25 affirmative,
25 affirmative, we are in public hearing Please be advised that absolutely no new evidence or information will be allowed once this land use public hearing is closed. We have one case this morning to be heard, case number 6158-M. We have one person that has signed up, Phil Borelli. I think, Borelli?
Yes,
Yes. Would you like to speak, Bill?
it's my case, I just,
Okay.
I signed it, sorry.
Okay. All right, thank you, Bill. Anyone else wishes to speak on this case? Anyone else from the public wishing to speak on case 6158? Anyone from the public? Mr. Weigel.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, seconded by Ms. Collins. Madam Clerk, call the roll,
Sure.
please.
DeGrosi?
Yes.
Eustace?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Gallo?
Yes.
Izzo?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Bible?
Yes.
Woodson?
Yes.
Freitag?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Frissalone?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Adamick?
Yes.
Babbage?
Yes.
Wilhelmie?
Yes.
Hart? Mayor?
Yes.
McDermott?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Berry?
Yes.
And Brooks.
Yes.
Thank you.
25 affirmative.
25 affirmative, the public hearing has been closed. Please continue, Mr. Weigel.
First item is case 6158M. This is a zoning map amendment from B2 to A1 in Wilton Township. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Gould. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll call by Mr. Adamick, second by Mr. Bible. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
That concludes the zoning cases under resolutions. Today we have a presentation concerning the Illinois Route 53 corridor plan, which was developed in conjunction with our land use department. Steve Lazara headed this up. If you'd like to introduce a speaker, I'm going to give a short presentation on the PowerPoint.
Thank you, Mr. Weigel, members of the board, County Executive Walsh. Just this morning, I was being teased just a little bit about how long I had been here and kind of what I've seen a little bit. And I have to say, it's really become exciting to be here in Will County. We've got a great presentation for you. Thank you. Thank you. We've got a great presentation for you this morning. It involves the Illinois Route 53 corridor from Joliet going south to Braidwood. We put together a great consultant team, and really they deserve the credit. And with that, I'd like to introduce Perry Georgopoulos and Zorin. She's actually Barat Zorin, but she goes by Zorin. They've got a great presentation. We're going to kind of do a quick one for you. This is something that we're really, really proud of. It was funded through CMAP, through Unified Work Program funding. And with that, I'm going to let them take it away. This is a very exciting time for us, so thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning. My name is Farhat Zorin. I'm the principal of Vehicle Planning and Design, 33 Georgopoulos with Vehicle here. We are so delighted to be here.
I don't think that's
Use the podium. Oh, use the podium. All right. Much better. Thank you. As Steve mentioned, we are the prime consultant here. We have a fairly large team. SB Friedman for economics. We had HVS looking at tourism and hospitality. KLOA looking at transportation, and RTKL helping us with some of the design work. This has been about a year-long process, and we are so grateful to this many agencies, many community members who've kind of been helping us craft this plan for almost a year now. So it's kind of sad to see it end, but we hope this is just the start of many good things that will happen to this part of Will County. As Steve mentioned, we are looking at kind of a little portion of Route 66 or the 53 corridor, all the way from Joliet to Braidwood, about 25 miles. And when we started this plan, it was a land use plan. And as we kind of got into the project, we realized there was so much more here than a traditional land use plan. So we've tried to make a very different kind of document. It really is about showcasing and marketing all the great assets here. And hopefully this can lead to a lot of economic development. Again, we are showing you the end product. So the way the book is, if you have a copy, we've kind of laid out the first piece as a kind of small brochure that you can show people. And a lot of people really don't know how many great things we have in this part of Will County. We're located in Orland Park. We're big champions of this part of the region. And we also did a lot of work for CMAP for the 2040 plan. So in all our graphics, if you see the CMAP plan, you will see we're always highlighting Will County and the southern part of this region. Again, in the first part of the book, we talk about there's this very special place in southwest Will County where you have the most amazing natural resources, 3 major rivers. We have the Medavin National Tallgrass Prairie. We have national destinations like the Abraham Lincoln Cemetery, as well as major nationally known raceways and destinations, as well as these wonderful historic towns and main streets. And through this beautiful part of the region, we have a national asset, historic Route 66, that runs through it. And we really feel that all of these assets collectively have huge potential to create a major tourism destination in not only Chicago, but in the larger area. So we hope this is a start of positioning this part of Will County kind of as a larger kind of tourism destination. So the goal of the project was, there were 3 very simple goals. We wanted to find one plan that would benefit all the communities who participated as well as the larger region, and really look at it from an economic point of view, and also, as we mentioned, looking at the tourism potential. The study area, again, going all the way from Joliet down to Braidwood. We primarily looked at Joliet from south of I-80, north of I-80. Joliet is a beautiful historic town, and that's a kind of whole other kind of plan that I understand is a new plan that's starting. But this project primarily focused south of I-80 all the way down to Braidwood, as well as reaching out to Manhattan to the east. Again, very extensive public participation. We are so grateful for the countless hours everyone contributed to making this plan a success. With our consultants, our tourism consultants, we kind of took on a much bigger approach. This is the study area right now. You see it down, city of Chicago right here. And what we started looking at was that within an hour drive or 2 hours drive from Chicago, there weren't a lot of great, well-known, well-established destinations within the state. We always go to Door County, or we think of Michigan or Wisconsin, and it's kind of surprising for a state with such a huge population density that we don't have well-established, easy-to-reach, in an hour, weekend getaways or destinations. So with that, with Friedman and HVS, we looked at a lot of numbers, and you look at the comparison between this corridor and all the others, and we have a much greater population density within driving distance. That is an untapped market. We looked at many other places in terms of our competition. What do they offer? What don't we have? What we found is we have no lack of possible destinations without having to spend a lot of money. There are everything, as we mentioned, from natural areas to major national destinations that are all there, but have not been packaged as one destination. So we found it's not the lack of destinations, it's the lack of identity, and really other things, lack of lodging. And so one of our big recommendations to this plan is to start creating that identity, really focus on this idea of exploration, that it is an emerging destination, that for the next 5 to 10 years, people who are coming here are coming to a place that isn't like Wisconsin Dells, that everyone has to go there. There's a sense of discovery and exploration that can be packaged as part of the identity. We're also looking at this starting out as a day trip market, really trying to consolidate all the people who are coming here to the Medavin, to the Speedway, to different destinations, packaging that can gradually lead to a weekend as well as long-term vacation destination. which also brings up the need for lodging and other amenities. The plan, again, we looked at different ways of how to tie it together. In the end, we came back to Route 66. It is an established, not only national, but an international destination. We were stunned to find that there are people marketing Route 66 in Australia and other parts of the world more aggressively than we are. It's kind of funny that people are selling Route 66 t-shirts in Australia and New Zealand, and we're not really utilizing that here more effectively. So we started with Route 66, and we found that there are thousands and thousands of tourists who actually drive Route 66, who don't stop here, other than maybe the 3 established stops. Joliet, they stop to take a picture in Wilmington in front of Gemini Giant, and then they stop at Polka Dot, take a few pictures, and they're off. So even when you look at the international websites, they don't market stopping in this stretch for longer than these few stops. So we based our whole plan on this idea of 6 stops on 66, finding few other new stops that tie to existing destinations and can kind of tie to the smaller dots that are scattered in the whole region. So if you've got the copy of the book, you can kind of see all the details, but this is kind of the plan. Again, the simple idea of tying 6 stops on 66 to some of the other well-known or lesser known kind of local assets and gems in the area. We tried to pick a theme that's true to the Route 66 theme. Route 66 was really about local initiative, quirky things, things that are oversized, unique, all sorts of strange things that are just fun. And building up on that spirit, we kind of have tried to bring that to all the things that we are recommending through the plan. We have a very extensive bike plan here, and really kudos goes to all the help that IDOT and the Forest Preserve District have given us. We are recommending an actual bike trail through this Route 66 and I-53 corridor. We've looked at it. It doesn't really impact freight traffic, and hopefully this is something that can move forward. Signage has been a biggest issue with all the communities, the lack of signage on I-80 as well as on the local roads. We've had very good feedback from IDOT. Hopefully this is one piece that will go forward very smoothly in terms of getting some I-80 signage and I-55 signage to give identity. Each of the stops has fairly detailed recommendations. We've tried to keep the book extremely thin and not make it a big fat document. So this is a North Gateway stop where we feel with the quarries, with Brandon Dam, so much heritage there. There's such a great potential to tie that to a stop on Route 66. The Speedway, again, has been extremely helpful in helping us with some ideas of improving existing infrastructure, as well as the City of Joliet. We really would like to thank them. The Speedway, again, is already an established stop. Many people who come to the Speedway don't even know it's on Route 66, so they have their own really fun ideas as part of this effort to program, to have more things that are tied to the 66 heritage. As we were doing this project, there was a new proposal for a truck stop, and they got so excited about the ideas that they actually, if you've been there, they've done a Blues Brothers car that's on a speaker in the kind of 66 theme. So hopefully, more of that we'll start seeing. As we mentioned, Elwood, a great stop with so much heritage. The Abraham Lincoln Cemetery is right there, as well as the Medevain. Again, we would like to thank everyone in the Medevain who've been so helpful to the last minute in terms of helping us connect the Medevain plans to the Route 66 stop as well as the cemetery. And again, one of the big infrastructure goal projects, which probably is long term, but we think we'll get so much return, is there's an existing trail bridge over 66 which is in very bad shape, and we really think long term, along with a new trail bridge, if there could be an observation tower. This is a big ticket item, but it has been done in the book. There's a few examples, the Lewis and Carroll example. This would allow you to be able to see all the way up to Joliet, all the way up to the rivers, and the whole of the Medevain. When you're in a flat land, it's very hard to see the whole landscape. So that's a kind of big idea, as well as some very small doable ideas for the delightful communities. Again, our gratitude to Wilmington and Braidwood for all their contribution to the plan. There's a fairly tight implementation strategy. We're looking at, and some of these things have already started, everything from programming events, which you can start doing right now, as well as how in the future you can possibly fund some of these ideas. There's a list of all the recommendations, all the projects at the end of the plan. So again, this has been an incredible process for us. We hope the project moves forward. We hope you will support it, and we would love to stay involved in any way we can to see this project come to fruition. Thank you again for your time.
Questions? Questions, anyone? Mr. Gould?
Thank you, Mr. Executive. I just wanted to commend everyone involved in this process, all the communities that took part. Steve, you've been involved with this for a long time, and had a chance to participate in your meetings. I think this is very worthwhile and something that our board should support. So thank you, Jim.
Any other questions? Mr. Bible?
Did this committee have any projections as to what type of tourist dollars you anticipate might be brought in over the next several years?
No, I wish we did. It is so premature. So we hope this is the first step, but you're absolutely right. That would be the next thing to look at. It's kind of the chicken and the egg right now. There is no identity. But as part of this, what we've done is we actually have had very good meetings with the state. If you've seen, the state is now airing a lot of commercials on TV that actually highlight Route 66, and they're showing Gemini Giant already. So we have a great ally in Springfield with the state. So we hope that's the next thing that's going to come. The strange thing is right now there is no counting of even the number of tourists who are driving down Route 66. So we hope that will be the next step, to have some numbers.
Ms. Ovala?
I just want to say it's a wonderful presentation, and I really hope that as a county board we support this, because part of living in Will County is the beauty and nature that we have. And it would be great to be able to take this and make a beautiful place for people to come and visit, rather than going up to St. Charles and Long Grove. Not that you shouldn't go to those places, but it is nice to come here, and my kids have played baseball out in that area for years. I've traveled every summer, and it's truly gorgeous. So thank you for that great presentation.
Any other comments? Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank
Job
you
well
for
done.
Okay, we have resolution 1441, resolution approval of the corridor plan along Illinois 53 from I-80 south to Braidwood. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, who seconded? Mr. Gould, okay, thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll call by Ms. Winfrey, second by Mr. Weigel. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next resolution 1442, authorizing the county executive enter into an Illinois Historic Preservation Agency fiscal year 2014 certified local government grant program to continue the Will County Historic Structure Survey in Peatone Township. You have an amended copy on your desk. The amounts have been increased from $22,000 to $37,500. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Zagrosi. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Wilhelmi, second by Ms. Hart. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next resolution 1443, authorizing the county executive to negotiate and execute for a professional service agreement to study and provide recommendations for stormwater flow in the area of the Fairmont community. Committee recommends approval, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Grossi. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Winfrey, second by Mr. Berry. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next resolution 1444, ordinance amending sections 155, 730 to 155, 1820 of the Will County zoning ordinance concerning compassionate use of cannabis pilot program. This was discussed in our caucus, and the committee actually recommended permitted uses for cultivation centers and dispensing centers. However, the caucus recommended the special use permits for the dispensing centers rather than permitted use because of concerns about parking and other locations. So I would like to amend our resolution to change it from permitted to special use permit. This is what the staff had originally recommended to the land use committee. So,
Tom, put the ordinance on the floor first.
okay, I'll make a motion to put this resolution on the floor.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Freitag. Now, proceed.
Okay, I make an amendment to change the dispensing centers on your handout here from permitted use to special use permits in A1, C1 through C6, or C4, and I through I3.
Do you have a copy?
Well, it's actually on the handout. If perhaps staff could come up and show where this is, it's kind of easily explained to David. He would be able to.
David DuBois, Director of Development Review Division, Will County Land Use Department. Just want to confirm the motion would be to change the medical cannabis dispensing organizations from permitted to special use in A1, C1, C2, C3, C4, and I1, I2, and I3 zoning districts.
Yes. I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Moved by Mr. Weigel, second by Mr. Eustace. Question, Mr. Howard.
First of all, I want to start with classification. Basically, what we're saying in A1 now, that that would be a special use permit for dispensing in A1. Is that what we're saying?
Correct.
That is?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to vote against this amendment, and here's why. Because basically, this is a business, especially in the agricultural communities. I don't think that we should restrict them, or we should actually send a message that we're not pro-business at this time. This is no different than any other medical dispensary, and at the same time, I think that this will prohibit a possible entity from coming in here and doing a cultivation and dispensary system in the A1 community. So I am not in favor of this. At the same time, with the income potential on this, I think that we should actually look at this and make it as easy as possible for a business to enter into Will County, right? Especially this type of business. So that's my personal opinion. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course, we're not talking about a growing part. We're talking about the dispensing part. And quite frankly, most of the time, if you want to look at this as a retail venture, which it is, it's not a medical, maybe medical purposes, but it certainly isn't like a medical center. And normally, you wouldn't even see dispensing in agricultural areas, a retail business in an agricultural zoning, or even a industrial zone. It's usually to commercial zones, but because of the rules that the state seems to be establishing that would prohibit dispensing 1,000 feet from any residency, obviously they're not treating it like a regular medical dispensing. If in the state rules they're saying you can't have this near residence, so certainly they think it's different, and I think we should think it's different. Like you can't get a liquor license without a special use permit in any zone. You can't run a home business without a special use permit. You can't sell firearms without a special use permit. You can't do many things without a special use permit. Look at the zoning. And now you want to put no rules are suggesting no rules on cannabis being sold, I disagree. Every site could potentially be different. And I do think that in various communities, they should have the ability, and we should have the ability of weighing in and understanding that one size does not fit all here. And if there needs to be reasonable conditions put on a marijuana dispensary, we should be doing that. And we should not be saying everybody can do what they want. We're certainly not putting any restrictions on growers. That would be more along the agricultural line. We're not asking that, it's not being suggested that they get a special use. But on dispensaries, come on, folks. Some of you, Bob, you may or may not be, I'm just using you as an example. You might be the first guy in who says, well, you're not putting a medical dispensary next to me or around my kids, around my family, So we really need to, in my opinion, need to have reasonable conditions for dispensaries of marijuana. And we don't know where this is going, by the way. It could be very restrictive now, today, and tomorrow it's Colorado, baby. Everybody is. And now you're going to allow dispensaries everywhere. And what are you going to go back then and say we're going to change it? This is the beginning of legalization of marijuana. It is not the end of it. And we need to establish good rules now. Because I do think, going forward, you are going to see many of these laws relaxed, just like you have in Colorado or Washington and in California. It's coming here too. So, in my opinion, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it'll come. So, let's have reasonable conditions. Let's have the ability to have reasonable conditions on marijuana dispensaries now. And I think that this board, along with the local communities, have always been reasonable. So reasonable that usually the applicant always agrees to the conditions. So let's give ourselves that ability. Thanks.
Mr. Mayor?
I have to agree with my colleague here. It's so much more, this is a brand new event going on in this part of the country. And it's so much easier to relax regulations than it is to put regulations on something after we've already given that ability. And so we don't know where this is going. This is all brand new for Colorado too. We don't know what kind of research and what kind of information is going to come out after 6 months, a year, 3 years after this has been actually implemented across that state. And so I agree with Jim. We need to do this for the dispensary, and that's why I'm going to do it.
Mr. Howard?
I call for the question.
This is on the amendment. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Sure. DeGrossi? Yes. Mustis?
Yes.
Howard?
No.
Ogella?
Yes.
Izzo?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
No.
Harris?
No.
Bible?
Yes.
Goodson?
Yes.
Freitag?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Frisalo?
Yes.
Winfrey?
No.
Adamick?
Yes.
Babbage?
No.
Wilhelmie?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
McDermott?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Perry?
No.
And Brooks.
Abstain.
Thank you.
Eighteen affirmative, 6 negative, 1 abstention.
18 affirmative, the amendment has been approved. Right.
Make a motion to approve as amended.
Who seconded? Moved and seconded. Madam Clerk, any questions? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
DeGrossi? Yes. Mustis?
Yes.
Howard?
No.
Ogella?
Yes.
Izzo?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
No.
Harris?
No.
Bible?
Yes.
Goodson?
Yes.
Freitag?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey? No. Adamick?
Yes.
Babbage?
No.
Wilhelmie?
Yes.
Hart? Yes. Mayor?
Yes.
McDermott?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Collins? Yes. Barry?
No.
And Brooks?
Abstain.
Thank you.
Eighteen affirmative, 6 negative, 1 abstention.
18 affirmative, motion has been approved. Ms. Weigel?
Our next land use development committee meeting will be April 8th at 9:30. We'll have a public hearing concerning the new building ordinance. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Weigel. Moving on, Finance Committee, Mr. Wilhelmie.
Morning,
Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive,
Morning.
and fellow county board members, and I wish a happy spring to one and all. It is a nice spring day. Before I begin my resolutions, I have 2 reports to place on file. A report from the Illinois Department of Revenue showing sales tax remitted to Will County for the month of January 2014 to be $1,681,553. And RTA tax received of $2,025,349 for a total of $3,706,902. And then the Will County monthly treasurer's report from Steve Weber dated January 2014, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Mr. Babbage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Thank you. And the first resolution is number 1445, resolution transferring and increasing appropriations in various county budgets to fund the year-end shortfalls. And I so move.
Moved by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Mr. Weigel. Any questions? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
DeRosie?
Yes.
Eustace?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
O'Gala?
Yes.
Izzo?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Weigel? Goodson?
Yes.
Freitag?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Adamick?
Yes.
Babbage?
Yes.
Wilhelmie?
Yes.
Hart? Mayor?
Yes.
McDermott? Yes. Weigel?
Yes.
Collins? Barry?
Yes.
And Brooks?
Yes.
Thank you.
25 affirmative.
25 affirmative. Motion has carried. Continue, Mr. Wilhelmie.
Thank you very much. Next resolution is number 1446, resolution increasing appropriations in land use budget for CMAP grant Unified Work Program, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Mr. Ferry. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Hart. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Thank you. The next resolution is 1447, resolution transferring funds within records management budget, purchase of copier, I believe, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Mr. Adamick. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Whitson, second by Ms. Freitag. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Thank you. The next resolution is number 1448, resolution allocating cash reserves to fund retro pay for interest arbitration awards, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Ms. Rice. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Adamick, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Thank you. The next resolution is number 1449, resolution increasing appropriations in the sheriff's restricted truck DUI fines budget to purchase vehicles, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Mr. Adams. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Collins, second by Mr. Weigel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion is carried.
Thank you. And my final resolution is number 1450, resolution appropriating waste management Lee Edelman, Will County Veterans Advocacy Program grant funds and workforce investment board budget, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Wilhelmie, second by Mr. Harris. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Howard, second by Mr. McDermott. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Thank you. That concludes my report. Our next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for April 1st at 10 a.m. following capital improvements. And again, have a wonderful spring day.
Thank you, Steve. Next, we move on to Public Works and Transportation Committee. Mr. Adamick, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive and fellow board members. I have 4 resolutions to present to you today. The first one is Resolution 1451. It's a resolution confirming the award of contract to Freeform Traffic Control Systems Limited for $967,148.47. This is for countywide striping in all county board districts. Our second resolution, Resolution 1452. I'm sorry. The horse is still gone.
Oh, what'd you guys get him talking?
Yeah. I got a train to catch. Sorry.
Moved by Mr. Adamick, second by Mr. Howard. Any questions of this matter?
What's the over and under on when we get out of here?
Carry all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried. Now please continue.
All right, second resolution, 1452, a resolution for improvement by the county under Illinois Highway Code for countywide striping in all county board districts using motor fuel tax funds in the amount of $1,050,000. And I so move.
Moved by Mr. Adamick, seconded by Mr. Reed. Anybody, excuse me, Mr. Bible. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Wilhelmy, second by Ms. Hart. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 1453, the resolution confirming award of contract to Prairie Materials for $5.70 a ton for the Wilton Road District aggregate for County Board District 6. I so move.
Second. By Mr. Adamick, second by Mr. Gould. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Freitag, second by Ms. Ogata. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
And finally, our last resolution, Resolution 1454, resolution authorizing professional service supplemental agreement for engineering service phase 2 with A. Epstein and Sons for Bell Road at the intersection 143rd in County Board District 7 in the amount of $111,731.51 using our tax funds. So moved.
Moved by Mr. Adams, second by Mr. Moran. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Goodson, second by Mr. Izzo. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
That concludes our report for today. Our next scheduled meeting is April 1st, April Fool's Day at 8:30. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wally. Next on our agenda, Judicial Committee. Mr. Bible, Chairman.
I don't know if I have spring fever between Mr. Wilhelmy or I'm out of breath with Mr. Henry. Good morning, Mr. President and Madam Clerk, and to all my fellow board members and to the gallery here. Judicial Committee has no reports to bring forward this morning, nor resolutions. However, next month we will meet on April 1st at 8:30, at which time we will conduct a public hearing on the matter of aerial photography. And if things go well on the timetable, we will move on to consider the new fee on court-appointed special advocates. And with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you very much, Rita. Thank you. Next, we move on to Public Health and Safety Committee. Mr. Babbage, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive and fellow board members.
Good morning, Joe.
It's not summer or spring yet, whatever we're bringing. It's still winter. 11:57, Steve, you'll be correct. Okay, I have a tabled motion that was tabled at the February 13th, 2014 County Board meeting, and I'm going to move it off the table. 13-3112, the ordinance amending Will County Code of Ordinances, Chapter 93, pertaining to open burning ordinance and nuisance fires.
Moved by Mr. Babbage, second by Mr. Wilhelm. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
DeGrosi? Yes. Eustace?
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Howard? Yes. Ogella? Yes. Izzo?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice? Harris?
Yes.
Bible?
Yes.
Goodson? Yes. Freitag? Yes. Gould?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Adamick? Babish? Wilhelmy?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
McDermott?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Collins?
Yes.
Berry?
Yes.
And Brooks.
Yes.
Thank you.
With that, Mr. Chairman.
25 affirmative.
25 affirmative. Please continue, Mr. Babbage.
With that, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to retable 13-12, the ordinance amending Will County Code of Ordinances, Chapter 93, pertaining to open burning or nuisance fires, And we will be having a public hearing on April the 10th at 8:30, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Babbage, second by Mr. Wilhelmie. Questions, Mr.?
I have a procedural question. Under rule, is there a limit on how many times you can table?
There should be, yeah.
I think there is.
Actually, there is, and really, this should go back to committee, because the committee is considering it. So it would be a better motion to send it back to committee.
I would agree, because I do think we've exceeded the amount of time you can table something. So, it should just go back to committee.
Mr. Babbage?
You mean I got the record, Jim?
You got the record, Joe. Maybe it's the only time we've seen it happen.
I've been at it for 8 years, so I think...
I would make the motion to remand it back to committee.
Second.
Previous roll.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Adamick, to send it back to committee. Any discussion?
Previous roll.
Previous roll by Mr.
Second.
Rizzo, second by Mr. Adamick. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
To conclude my report, I got 1455, the resolution authorizing the county executive to execute intergovernmental agreement with the Guernsey County Health Department to provide medical direction of patients in latent and active tuberculosis, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Babbage, second by Mr. Bible. Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Goodson, second by Ms. McDermott. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
The next Public Health and Safety Committee meeting is scheduled for April the 10th. As I said, indicated before, we're going to have a public hearing at 8:30 a.m. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Babbage. Next, we move on to Insurance and Personnel Committee. Ms. Zagrosi, Chairwoman.
Good morning, County Executive, ladies and gentlemen. We have one resolution before you this morning, which is resolution authorizing renewal of wraparound professional liability insurance for the Will County Community Health Center, and I so move.
Moved by Mrs. Grossi, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Bible, second by Ms. Hart. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Okay, and our next meeting is to be determined. We do not have an actual date scheduled as of right now. We will be in Washington, D.C. with our contingency for the legislative agenda, and that would normally fall on the date that we would be meeting. So there will be a date that will be established for our meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Next, we move on to Legislative and Policy Committee. Mr. Howard, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive and fellow board members. I have two resolutions to bring before you this morning. I have 1457 resolution opposing House Bill 5505 and Senate Bill 3219. The reason is property tax pollution control facilities. I so move.
Moved by Mr. Howard, second by Mr. Wilhelmie. Discussion?
Previous roll.
Previous roll by Mr. Babbage, second by Mr. Grossi. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Okay, I have a second resolution to bring before you this morning. I have 14-58 resolution supporting the passage of House Bill 5819, the reason the Illinois Collar County Economic Development Task Force. I so move.
Moved by Mr. Howard, second by Ms. Hart. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. O'Connell. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Okay, and I'd also, this morning, seeing that spring is finally starting to sprung, so what I'd like to say is that basically the shed doors are starting to open in areas out there, rural areas, so farmers are getting their equipment out, getting it ready to go in the field, so please be careful out there in the unincorporated areas. That equipment's a lot bigger than it was years ago. And it takes up the road, sometimes road and a half, so be careful out there as you travel through there. And also another thing, watch the flooding out there. I mean, be careful when you drive through there. If you got kids driving or whatever, some of that water is getting pretty deep out there, especially in the unincorporated areas. So just be careful out there and enjoy your spring. So, thank you. Oh, the next meeting will be determined yet. We haven't set a date yet in April. Once we get back, we'll set that date. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Next, we move on to Capital Improvements Committee. Ms. Winfrey, Chairperson.
Good morning, Mr. Executive and fellow board members. We have 1459, the much awaited, very highly anticipated resolution authorizing the county executive to negotiate a professional services agreement for the programming and preliminary design of the courthouse complex, and that vendor being White and Company. And I so move.
Moved by Ms. Winfrey.
Second.
Second by Mr. Mayor.
And a question.
Okay. Questions? Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to see that we're moving forward and taking a look at implementing our capital plan that we've been doing, that we did several years ago. And congratulations to White for winning that contract. I would like to ask that in this process, we do make sure that we look at all aspects of this, that as we go in and develop the scope of the work, that it's not just looking at downtown Joliet and what we have in our current process, and I know a lot of discussion, but there are a number of folks in this caucus that would like to see us at least do a general overall cost analysis of what it would be to be on a green space. That we know, and there's a feeling that taking and doing a building on open land would be a lot less expensive than taking a look at building it and retrofitting what we have going on here in downtown Joliet. And we just want to make sure that we have the best use of our tax dollars. So as part of the scope of practice or the scope of this work, we'd like to make sure that that's included.
Thank you. Mr. Ballage?
I was going to say the same thing as Chuck, but I want to point out there's a lot of vacant land between Parker Road and Silver Cross Hospital on Route 6, and I would imagine it's a very good price right now.
Thank you.
Not now, Steve.
Mr. Mustis?
I just wanted to mention, I do think we should also do the analysis, but we should understand, it is going to be a generic analysis.
Right.
This is not site-specific. It's just talking about the advantages and disadvantages to each type of development. So it would be done on a kind of a generic basis, is what which I would request, understanding that we would not be looking at any site-specific areas. So it's just for general education, I think, of the board to understand the difference between the types of development.
Thank you. Any other comments? Ms. Winfrey?
Yes, thank you for those comments, and just so that everybody is aware, White is aware that they need to look at all possibilities and take into consideration where we're located now, where the jail is, and how that would impact on either a downtown site or an off-site, and to look, as you said, at a more high level, what the cost would be and the operation cost long-term either way. So that is part of the plan.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Grozy?
Yes.
Mustis?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
Ogalla?
Yes.
Izzo?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice?
Yes.
Harris?
Yes.
Bible? Goodson?
Yes.
Freitag?
Yes.
Gould?
Yes.
Ballage?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Adamant?
Yes.
Babbage?
Yes.
Wilhelmie?
Yes.
Hart?
Yes.
Mayor?
Yes.
McDermott?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Collins? Berry?
Yes.
And Brooks.
Yeah.
25 affirmative.
25 affirmative, motion is carried. Please continue.
Thank you. 1460, which is a resolution awarding the bid for a Avaya telephone CM upgrade, and I so move.
Moved by Ms. Winfrey, second by Mr. Wilhelmie. Any questions? Please roll by Mr. Berry, second by Ms. Hart. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
The next meeting of capital improvements will be April 1st at 9:30, and that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Denise. Our next committee is Airport Committee. Mr. Moran, Chairman.
Good morning, happy spring.
Good morning, Don.
There is no resolutions to come forward from the airport committee this month. The next airport committee is scheduled for April 3rd, 2022.
Thank you, Don. Next, we move to the Executive Committee. Mr. Brooks, Peter Brooks, as Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive. Good morning, everyone. Got a couple of resolutions and one replacement, 14-61. A resolution authorizing the county executive to execute intergovernmental agreement with Plainfield Township for the administration of stormwater improvement and Sunny Land subdivision. I so move.
Moved by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Berry. Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Adamick, second by Ms. McDermott. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
14-62, resolution proposing a substantial amendment to the Will County 5-year consolidated plan 2010-2014 and a per year 2013 action plan for the relocation of the home program funds to be invested in certain owner and renter housing rehabilitation projects, and I so move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Brooks, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll call by Ms. Rice, second by Ms. Hart. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
My only request is not so many big words in my resolution. 14-63, replacement hire for the land use department, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Wilhelm. Any questions? Previous by Mr. Babbage, second by Mr. Freitag. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Our next executive committee meeting is scheduled for April the 3rd, 2014, 9:30 a.m. You have on your desk the appointments by the county exec, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Brooks, second by Mr. Adamick. Any questions? Previous roll call by Mr. Grossi, second by Ms. Winfrey. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried. Announcements by our county board speaker, Mr. Brooks.
Thank you. I have just a few of them this morning. I'll try to go very quickly. Spring is approaching very soon, and I want to be ready for that. First one, let me thank Waste Management. I see Dale Holstra is here for the Lee Edelman Veteran Program. Thank you so much for that. We're very fortunate to have that in our Will County. Just want to thank you so much, and thank you to the board for unanimously passing that. Thanks, Dale. Also, land use, thank you for this presentation on this morning. I travel Route 66 7 days a week. My office is located there, and I wasn't aware of all those points there, so thank you so much for pointing that out. That is a jewel we have there. Just want to, just got a couple of things I want to read. Well, first of all, let me just remind you that Jim Glasgow gave us all a free pass to the men to cook. Men who cooked this Saturday, March 22 from 6 to 9 in Mokina, Piper Hall. Thank you so much for that, and I certainly will be putting the calories on for that. Also, John Cicero, I hope with the Will County Health Department, you all have on your desk a reminder that the deadline is March 31st to get covered, and he gave us numerous sites all over Will County where those, they have navigators that will be helping you with this program, and you also have that information on your desk as well. Also, I received the, not a resolution, but Duffy Blackburn gave me a note that reminds us that County of Will and Alder Duffy Blackburn is celebrating Sunshine Week this week, March 16th through March 22nd. Sunshine Week is a natural initiative to promote a dialogue about the importance of open government and transparency with freedom of information. One thing that Mr. Blackburn and his board always like to remind us all of is the difference and importance of being both transparent, and that's in bold, where our citizens are able to easily have a look into the government, but also being open, where our citizens are able to step right inside and can participate themselves. And finally, you can go to the Will County Auditor's website and the county's Open Government Center to find out more on how you get involved with this year's celebration of Sunshine Week, and congratulations for that award, Mr. Blackburn. Also, March is the National Women's Month. Come on, woman. And I want to recognize, I got to go home in one of you. I've been married 40 years. And I want to recognize the contribution of women nationally and locally. Also want to affirm the board's support of the right of all women to be safe environment in the workplace and society as a whole, and the intolerance of this board for any all abuses that undermine those rights. This takes the place of a resolution and avoids the any misunderstanding, but the point is, this is National Women's Week. Finally, one of our county board staff, Karen Burke, some of you all may or may not know, had to be taken from our office on this week and taken to Silver Cross Hospital. She's doing a lot better. She should be discharged either today or tomorrow, but keep Karen Burke in your prayers. Thank you, Mike Frizzalone, to remind us that spring is just a few hours away. Thank you for the flower. And now that spring is just a few hours away, I can't wait to get my tan on. Thank you so much. Have a nice spring. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brooks. Next, we have Democratic Caucus Chair, Diane Gross.
Thank you. The first thing I'd like to say this morning is I do send out my condolences to the Shea family. Mike was a very exceptional employee, very knowledgeable.
Well, no, it wasn't Mike. No.
In Mike Shea's department.
Mike Shea's department.
Yeah.
Department, right. Where's Mike?
Anyhow, my condolences are out to his family, good friend to many. Next, congratulations to all the individuals who were successful this past week in their election bids. A very big thank you goes out to Nancy. All the work that gets put into that, I don't know how you do it. I was amazed last week when we got out of one of our meetings to go downstairs, and it's like, I took a picture down there, and all these little boxes all lined up like little soldiers ready to go out to their appointed polling places. It's like, it truly is an insurmountable task. You make it look very easy, and the results, you do a wonderful job. So thank you.
Thanks very much.
Next, the Accessible Will County's campaign is being kicked off this Saturday. So anyone who can attend this, it's scheduled to take place March 22nd from 1 to 3 at the Joliet Historical Museum. This is being spearheaded by the Will Grundy Center for Independent Living. The focus of this campaign is inclusive housing for people with disabilities, expansion of transportation options for individuals who are challenged, and increased accessibility of public and private buildings. So I hope you can make the point to join us that day. We do truly want to make Will County a place where accessibility is key and everyone has equal access. And lastly, as my friend Herb said, thank you, Mike, for this first flower of spring. So on that note, everyone have a lovely day.
Thank you, Diane. Next, Minority Spokesman.
Good morning, County Executive, County Board. I look at we're coming to a conclusion of winter. So one of the things I want to do is congratulate everyone on surviving a tough winter.
Yeah.
And being dedicated. Very little was ever postponed here. Everything stayed on schedule. There's major meetings. And of course, a special thanks to all our employees who also kept county government moving. So it was easy. It would have been easy to say, I'm staying in bed. I'm not going out of this. But things did move on. We approach the end of winter, because we're not in spring yet. We got another hour, 10 minutes. So it's I think 11:55 or something.
Take the flower back, right?
Something like that. So opening day, 11 days, Southfield, Minnesota. Go White Sox. For you Cub fans, go Cubs. And Jim Westcott, thank you for the pass to Real Cook, but I'm going to write a check, as everybody who goes should. Just to remind you, just to write a check, you would be able to pass. So it's a good cause, and certainly worthwhile. Mostly done with volunteers. It's very important for children who are in very tough situations and are in the court system. They need a good advocate to protect them. Right. Sometimes for their own families. So it's certainly a worthwhile cause. And so Jim, thanks for taking up that cause and help help the continuing success and funding that. Farmers will be in the fields pretty soon, are they? When
Be a
are
while
they gonna be
yet.
out there?
Be a while yet.
A little while yet? Okay. We need to let it dry out a little bit?
Be nice to get the frost out.
Yeah, that frost's a little deeper than usual.
Signs were a little tough this year.
Anyways, everyone have a great day, enjoy your spring. It's always a nice thing in the season to see things start greening up and flowering up, so everyone have a great day. Thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you, Jim. This county board will be standing at recess until our next meeting, Thursday, April 17th, 2014, at 9:30 a.m. Thank you, everyone.